Hi, good afternoon. Olivia, is it?
Yes, it is. It's Olivia. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm well, thank you. Yeah, I'm
Good.
good.
So my name is Dr. Thurgood. I'm here to kind of see what brings you in today and just chat with you about what's going on. So can you tell me what brought you into my office today?
Sure, sure. My wife and I are having, I think, a few marital issues surrounding, work-life balance. We're also trying to conceive right now. So I think we're just going through a couple different things and we're trying to work it out. I wanted to come in to kind of see if I can work through some of my issues or some of the issues that I may be bringing to the table so it could help our relationship as a whole.
Okay, okay. So what I'm hearing you say is, you're having just some marital issues due to the work-life balance. Am I getting that correct?
I think so. Yeah, I work about 60 or so hours a week.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess for the average person, that's a lot more. So, it's causing some friction in my household.
Okay. And have you always worked that amount of hours during this marriage, this relationship?
I think I think it's kind of gotten worse, you know. I think, it graduated from, 40, 45, 50, and then, next thing you know, you're working 60 hours a week and, you're wrapping up around 7 or 8 at night.
Okay. And that's been due to promotion at work, or has the workload been exceptionally heavy lately?
I think overall, I've had a few promotions, so my responsibilities have grown as well in the workplace. So, kind of where I am in the company, it just requires more time from me.
Okay. So now that you've kind of taken on this higher position, your job and your management is demanding a lot more from you, right? Is that what I'm saying?
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so now tell me about how that's aiding and how your priorities and your values are lining up with this extra workload.
I mean, definitely aren't doing, date night and stuff as often as I would probably like to. But at the same time, if we're working towards, in my mind, if we're working towards having a child in the very near future, like right now, we're working on it. I think it requires me to work more so that we can, so I can provide for them,
Yeah.
So that's become more of a priority for me personally.
Okay. Definitely. So that's like one of your bigger values is prioritizing saving money or making sure that you have enough to take care of the child and conceive the child because that can be expensive. Am I getting that correct?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah. Hmm.
And then in terms of the quality time aspect that you spoke of, um, is that kind of where you feel like the trouble is coming from in terms of balancing that quality time with your partner and getting the work done that you need to provide for the child that you're hoping to have?
Um, I guess, for me, it's just, for me, we're always together. We're always going to have time together. But, the time that I spend working is to ensure that we can maintain the same lifestyle with or without a child. So,
Okay. And then so in terms of the lifestyle, I want to kind of see um, what are some of those motivating values in terms of your current lifestyle that you fear would change with how many hours you work.
you're asking if I spent less time working, how would my lifestyle change?
Well, what is driving you to continue to work so many hours? And as you put it, kind of in the sacrificing of some of that quality time, some of those date nights that you spoke of. Uh, what
Hmm.
what are you valuing about the lifestyle that you're living now um, that drives you to want to keep working those hours despite that part of your relationship that's being sacrificed?
Uh, okay. Okay. I think I think always, the security blanket of having that savings, having those, some of that passive income in there as well that is derived from being able, working so many hours, getting the money that I get from my job allows us, to have some passive income in some other areas. I don't want to ever have to, struggle for anything, or have us have to struggle for anything that we want. We can certainly afford at this point in time. I don't want to ever have to be to a point where we don't have the ability, or the same stability.
Okay. So that security is vital to this whole process, to the strength of your
For
relationship
sure.
and with having a child. Okay, got
For
it.
sure.
Um, so in terms of, our work together, what I really like to assess is, what motivates you, and kind of maybe some historical that have motivated you in the past. So I'd like to ask a question about, maybe past experiences of working. Like, have you always had this very strong work ethic, and where did that come from?
I think I've probably always had like a really strong work ethic, and I think that has a lot to do with my parents, particularly my father. He wasn't as present per se, in terms of like, we want to go to the zoo or something like that. He wasn't always there in that regard because he was working. Um, but in him working, he always ensured that we had whatever that we wanted, and we maintain a lifestyle that, my mom was able to take us wherever we wanted to go, or as a family, when he was available, we were able to go on vacations. So I think, followed his lead in that aspect.
Okay. Okay. So your father represented, he gave a lot of that kind of security mindset that you have now carried
Yeah.
to your relationship, keeping your family
Hmm.
financially secure, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, did you did you also feel the same feelings that you're feeling in your current relationship? Did you feel these same feelings, and maybe uh, the hurt maybe associated with not spending quality time, with your entire family? Do you feel that there's some there's some analogous behavior there?
Um, Probably.
Okay.
Probably, for sure. I probably see some of the same patterns that, some of the things that came out of my father not being there, and uh, um, I'm seeing the same things kind of resurfacing in my current relationship, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, that drive for security, you're kind of seeing some possible sacrifices that you saw maybe as a child, and then now
Hmm.
kind of feeling like they might be playing out now as an adult.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah.
And so, so tell me about some of the other things that you may have changed in your life, and what motivated you to make those changes. Maybe who you were prior to getting into the marriage you're in now. Maybe what were some of the motivations in your life that helped you change uh, behavior to get into that relationship, or did you?
Um, I don't. I'm not sure. I changed per se. More so like matured, probably. Just going through life. You go through some of those younger relationships, and then you kind of finally decide, like, this is the person I want to be with. This is the person I want to build with. Um, that I want to get serious with, and that I'm motivated um, to work for and work for us to make sure that we do have some stability, we do have a good quality of life. I think I'm not sure I've changed much as a person, but more so just simply matured over time.
Okay. Yeah. So that maturity kind of, that's kind of came along with the scenario, right? Came along with the
Yeah.
scenario of life. Okay. And then
Hmm.
in terms of, you feel like there was a lot of strength already there in your person from the maturity, from the things you may have gone through prior to that relationship. Is that correct?
For sure. For
Okay.
sure. Hmm.
Um, so in terms of, maybe making some tweaks to support, maybe doing more date nights with your wife and kind of getting prepared for, an upcoming child. What do you see? Um, what do you see maybe can be reprioritized? Like, what are some concessions that you foresee that could work for your job and work for your family life?
I would have to think about it. I mean, the obvious choice would be to prioritize my wife and our child, but in reality, um, it's it's not tough to pick and choose. It's just, how do I allocate my time better? Maybe taking off a couple Fridays every month or something like that, taking off some days during the week, sporadically, just so, that we can spend time together and things like that. I think I'm willing to do that. I think I have a ton of vacation time because I am working so much. So probably, probably doing some of that to start.
Okay. Okay.